The moment the van door slammed shut, I screamed like my soul was being ripped out. The sound echoed off the metal walls, raw, panicked, broken. The men loved it. They laughed, elbowed each other, called me fresh, called me perfect. I curled into myself, sobbing until I choked, as if terror swallowed every breath. But inside, I was counting heartbeats. Not mine, theirs. The warehouse was cold, damp, lit by flickering bulbs that swung like dying stars. I stumbled when they shoved me forward, collapsing to my knees as if too weak to stand. My hands shook violently. Tears streaked my cheeks. My voice cracked into a whimper. They bought every second of it. The other women were broken for real, eyes wide, hollowed out, barely clinging to consciousness. Their silence was the heavy kind, the kind that sinks into concrete. So I sank with them, head down, shoulders trembling. The perfect victim. Before this, I worked for the CIA. But the mission that ended my career wasn't just classified, it was buried. We were sent to extract a scientist, captured by a militia, experimenting with neurological torture. Not pain, not death, memory. They strapped people into machines that forced them to relive their worst traumas on an endless loop until their minds fractured like thin glass. When my team and I breached the compound, we were ambushed. The machine was activated, and the gas flooded the room. In seconds, I was drowning in childhood nightmares, battlefield horrors, and visions so vivid they carved scars into my neurons. But something went wrong. I didn't break. My fear rewired itself into something else. Something cold, something sharp. The agency diagnosed me with emotional destabilization and relieved me of duty. But they should have realized, removing me didn't erase what they created. Back in the warehouse, one guard knelt in front of me. He cupped my chin, forcing my trembling face upward. "Look at me," he said. I did. Wide eyes, tear-streaked cheeks. Pure terror, perfectly rehearsed. Then he smirked. That was his mistake. When he leaned close, whispering filth against my ear, I shifted just a hair, just enough. He didn't notice the way my breathing leveled, the way the shaking stopped. But I did. And then I moved. I snapped the zip ties against my shin bone, grabbed the back of his head, and slammed his face into the concrete. The first impact broke his nose. The second shattered his teeth. The third split his skull. He didn't get a fourth. Blood pooled fast, spreading under my knees like a dark halo. The room went silent. The women stared. The other guards didn't even have time to shout before I was on them. The second guard pulled a gun. I redirected his wrist, the bullet tearing into his partner's throat. Before he could process the mistake, I smashed his elbow backward until the bone ruptured through the skin. He screamed, so I silenced him by driving my thumb into his windpipe. He choked on his own blood. The third tried to run, sloppy, terrified. I tackled him, pinning him to the ground. He begged. I didn't care. I slammed his head into the floor again. And again. And again. Until he stopped moving. The fourth thought he could hide behind crates. He forgot his shadow. I dragged him out by his ankle and crushed his temple with a broken metal pipe. When it was done, the warehouse was quiet, except for the soft dripping of blood. I stood in a circle of bodies. My hands were shaking again. This time not from fear. From adrenaline. From release. I walked to the last breathing guard, the ringleader who had crawled into a corner, clutching his shattered ribs. He looked at me like I was inhuman. "What? What are you?" he whispered. I crouched slowly. "I'm what you made," I said. His eyes widened. I smiled. Then I finished him. I grabbed his radio and pressed the button. "This is Jane Harrow," I said. "Former CIA, rogue. The entire operation here is terminated." A familiar voice crackled through the static. "Jane, we told you to stand down. You're mentally unstable. You need help." "No," I whispered. stepping over bodies as I walked toward the open warehouse door. You need help dealing with monsters. And I'm the only monster willing to hunt them. Jane, stop. I dropped the radio, stepped into the night, and vanished. Because the truth is simple. I was never scared. Not once. I only pretended because fear makes predators sloppy. And now, I am the fear. And every last one of them will learn that.
Yo, it's the midnight tide, the city's heartbeat slows. A shadow rolls in from the ocean where the fire glows. They call him CALAMARI, but you better watch your back. He's got a sword of flame and he'll slice through the land. Riding the wave, a neon reef in the concrete sea. Mischief in his eyes, he's a villain with a plea. Streaking through alleyways, no one knows his real name. He's a pirate of justice, playing with the game. Fire on his blade, sparks dance like sea foam. He cuts through lies, no one left to roam. People whisper legends of the night shark. Cut a vigilante, a menace, a mystery gut. Calamari slicing through the night. Fire in his sword burning bright. He's an anti-hero, rebel in the rain. Whispered by the city, his name. He steps from the shadows, the skyline in his grasp. A swirl of ink and fire, a storm that can't be clasped. He's not for the righteous, he's a rogue with a plan. He breaks the system, the law, the man in the span. His flame doesn't burn the innocent, only the corrupt. A scorching blade that shows who he's truly up. He's a fish in the deep, a sea that never stops. His heart beats like a drum, the city's only hope. Calamari slicing through the night. Fire in